stupid screenshot thingy. Okay. By example. Smith Kyung-se. I have given up on any attempts at convincing the main branch of family to get their act together. As clearly speaking, reason to any of that pack of idiots is a fool's errand. Now, I can only hope that their self-destruction is quick, such that when it's my son's turn to pick up one of the pieces of the Smith name reputation, he will be able to do so as soon as possible. He seems far less worried about it than I am, of course. He's only a child, but the boy is mature for his years, and perhaps there is wisdom in his calmness. All we have to do is be better than him, right? He asked me while I was in a rage about handling of the funeral. Isn't that what gentlemen do? Lead by example? He is right, of course. As a noble family, we're supposed to be an example to the middle classes, and the commoners and the slaves. Perhaps too must we serve as an example to the family of the High Magistrate and his brother. Perhaps things will not be so doomed for my son after all. It will be hard on him, of course, if the main branch family continues on this path of decay, but if any boy will grow up to be able to put things right, I believe it is him. I think we have one more? Yeah, okay. Here comes the fall. Oh, no, what? Oh yeah, 'cause she said she didn't have anything else, did she? Yeah, okay. Okay. Here comes the fall. At least nobody's going to say I didn't see this coming. News that Sang-min has gotten sacked just came in, which is definitely the death of any respectability in this family. Temporary leave, it's been described as, but it's obviously a political move on the part of the emperor. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what he's playing at, too. He's hoping that making a move against Sang-min will push him over the edge, make him do something indefensibly stupid, and use that as an excuse to shuffle him off for good. It's a good plan. It'll work. Meanwhile, the Kim family seems to be up in the rise, getting ready to fill the gaps left by our collapse. Now it's all up to my son. If he's not able to rebuild after all this, then the whole family is doomed, and permanent decline. Everything rides on him. Now that's all right. Okay. Now we have block 10. Marital admonitions, part 7. To the woman who will marry my husband. But please, do not think that all of this is meant to say you will be unloved. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that is a precious gift to the Ryu family. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for you will relieve a heavy burden on our house, and for that I am grateful. As proof of his affection for you, let me share with you one secret which I have been permitted to tell only you. In honor of you, my husband, and his capacity as captain and emperor, has permanently changed his admin password to your birth name. And I know what that is, because I played that. I didn't know what it was before. I was like, My new sister, you will be brought into the Ryu family, not as a mere lowly woman, but a symbol of power in the inner chambers. You will not only represent the continuation of the Ryu bloodline by providing him a son, but your very name will represent the power of the captain's computer. Understand this, Pale Bride. Your duty may be great, but you will be loved, Pale Bride. Oh, you're gonna be surprised who it turns out to be. Of course, the last person to hold the titles, Captain and Emperor on the ship, was Ryu In-ho. Which of Captain's Ryu's would you like to know more about? Pale Bride. Very well, she wrote a lot, so this is going to be tricky to filter. I guess I'll just start at the top, and I'll let you figure out what's important. Now, I think if I would ask more about the other lady, then I think that'll fill that in. I think that's what I did last time. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for paying attention to me. It's like I was saying earlier, I just haven't had anyone to talk to in so long. The last time there was anyone around on the ship was the year 322. By my count, it's now 944. I mean, do you have any idea how long that is? It wasn't really so bad at first. It was nice to not have to worry about anyone telling me what to do. I could just occupy myself, go through old logs, but, well, I read quickly. After the first few years, it really started to sink in, the loneliness. Eventually, you sort of get used to it. It feels awful. You never like it, but you get used to it, in ways that sort of scare you. There was a whole 100 years that went by where I didn't have a single thought, not a one. Not a one. I just sat there idle. I didn't even notice, just I had been feeling particularly, what's the word? Sleepy? I want to say, but that's not right. I guess maybe that doesn't translate. Anyway, the point is, I was in a lazy mood, and I decided to call my clock subroutine, and it turned out it had been 3 trillion milliseconds since the last time I called it. Scary. Geez, I'm rambling. Sorry, as you can understand, my perception of time is all off. Sorry, I'll shut up. But my point is, I'm really happy to have someone out there. So yeah, maybe I should have asked with the other. Maybe that would have been better. I don't know. That's okay. Block 5. The month of good fortune. Kim Jong-soo. The second month of the 319th year was one of the great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the Captain Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a daughter of marriage able to give him, to take as a second wife. His first wife has been unable to provide a son, and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month I had no daughter in my family to give him. My only son, Young Silk, was still without a child, yet it was a perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it is true. Passed on through the generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg, a translucent lustre such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside. She is known as the Pale Bride, for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in her family to awaken during a great time of great prosperity. Oh yeah! I should have asked for the other one, because this comes up anyways. I don't think the other one comes up. Darn it, I'm sorry, y'all. I'll start it over again, go through it real fast, and come up to that, and I'll record it for you guys. Just so you can, you know, kind of get a feel of it, if that's what you guys want. But okay. She was known as the Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in her family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Yet, as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter to provide the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble house once and for all. Concerning this, I promised the empire that I did have a daughter who would be soon in marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg, such that the Pale Bride passed through the Kim family, and for years could be adopted without my own daughter. She's a strange child, but will make a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune this means. I'm afraid nearly everything the man wrote was very little value. It all reads like that. Boring, stiff, obnoxiously Are you sure you really want more from Kim Jong-soo? Sure. If you insist. Very well, I've added the other relevant entries from him. I'll caution you from taking him seriously, though. Oh, I feel bad for missing him. Dear Diary, last week I woke up from cryostasis. Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future, they'd have medicine again, that I'd finally get better, that I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster while I was in stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks. The Pale Bride did keep an extensive diary. I'll try to find some more entries. Dearest Mother, do you recall how my last letter I mentioned the Pale Bride being brought into the household? I take back my kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I have ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace with young Seok's adopted mother visiting her own family. I have been given full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promise to Mystic Bless? She's a trouble, so often. One would think she were a boy. She acts like one, too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from less civilized time. Just last night she made a huge scene at dinner. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of young Seok and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she was too sick to eat. She has said this before, too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is, of course, in perfect health. When asked why she thought this otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. Okay, I'm about to stop.